Welcome to the Guitar Pirates Podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 3 of the Guitar Pirates Podcast. And I'm your host, Josh Jones.
And I am your co-host, Jim Steger.
Guys, I hope everyone's doing good this wonderful April 19th. Rolling right into 420, pun intended.
Yeah, rolling hard.
for all of you partakers out there in the world. Guys, we'll get this podcast started. I'm going to get into a small segment that we're going to call Dirty Laundry.
Oh.
We're going to clean up a little bit from the last podcast. Some podcasts might call this housekeeping, but we're going to call it Dirty Laundry.
Yeah, it stinks.
It stinks. Guys, I messed up. All right, the Cheap Trick dates, I got them backwards. Guys, if you're listening to this, the Cheap Trick tour dates are backwards. Check their website. I got them backwards. Don't kill me.
Just a shame.
And that's it for Dirty Laundry.
I was perfect. No, I'm never perfect.
Jim was a perfect 10 for 10 for Jim.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to get the podcast started with This Day in Music. For a big one, April 19th, 1965, the Beatles single Ticket to Ride was released on Capitol Records in the United States.
Ooh.
Big one.
That's a really big one.
Another April 19th, 1969, Glenn Campbell, number 1 on the Billboard Country Singles charts with Jimmy Webb's song Galveston, which also made it to number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100.
And Glenn Campbell has a theater in Branson, if you didn't know.
Ooh, Branson's awful close to where we live, awful close to our stomping grounds. April 19th, 1980, Blondie goes number 1 in the U.S. singles charts with the song Call Me. Featured in the Richard Gere movie American Gigolo.
I was going to make a Blondie joke, but I'm going to keep that clean.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean.
Did she go to Dallas? We'll keep it at that.
Running down the list here. We could go on and on. April 19th, 2012. Levon Helm passes.
That's Arkansas boy.
That's
right
our
there.
Arkansas boy right there. Drummer of the band, Bob Dylan's drummer. It very, very, very sad.
And a cool little note is that he gifted Roger Waters a Arkansas Razorback hat, which he wears everywhere.
Yeah, I think he wore it like in a Hall of Fame acceptance speech or something like that.
He said it's his prized possession.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And I got one for you. On this day in 2002, April 19th, Lane Staley of Alice in Chains' body was found. And the thing about that is that he died on April 5th.
Oh, so it was a while.
Yeah, it took him 2 weeks. He was 6 foot tall when they found him. He was 86 pounds. Of course, that was heroin overdose.
Ugh. Rest in peace, Lane Staley, guys.
Yeah.
Here's a more positive one. April 19th, 1980. A 32-year-old English singer by the name of Brian Johnson.
Oh, that's big.
Joins AC/DC, replacing the just deceased Bon Scott. What a replacement.
Oh, yeah. In not less than a year ago, or even that year, they were recording Back in Black, actually, I think, or pre-recording Back in Black.
I mean, who can change singers like that and get even bigger?
Oh, of course.
AC/DC, right?
Yeah.
The new album, I think we mentioned in the last podcast. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that new album's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
If you're an AC/DC fan of any sorts, I mean, luckily, Angus Young.
Get on the YouTubes, get on wherever you use Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. Check it out. Check out the album. It's great. It's not just dad rock.
Yeah, I wish they would have been able to use some of Malcolm Young, but I understand Angus Young's.
It was a
view
tribute
on
to
it.
Mal.
Yeah.
We all know it. I think I think they've come out and said it. But I wish my grandfather was rocking like that.
Oh my goodness.
To be that old and rock that hard. Oh my God.
What was that story you sent me? How many Marshall amps does Angus Young use on stage?
Oh my gosh. I seen it was
like
an
20s?
article. It was like an 18 or something. I can't remember. I'll have to find the article.
It's insane.
It was an absurd amount. Like more than Zach Wilde amount.
Oh man. That's insane.
It's just crazy. But guys, that is your April 19th, 2021.
News of the day.
This day in music. Sorry, Jim.
No, you're good. That's
This
how it
day in
works.
music. That is our This Day in Music. Guys, carrying on. Next segment, we have music news, and we have quite a rundown.
Oh my goodness.
Quite a rundown.
You want to start off?
You know, I think I'm going to, just because I have such a long list.
Yeah, I got you.
I probably will talk for a while for this one. Guys, first start off the news. This is going to be the cliffhanger, so pay attention. ZZ Top's Billy Gibbons releases solo single Desert High. Another solo single from Billy Gibbons off his third solo album, Hardware.
That last one was pretty awesome.
I mean, I think it says he's playing with Matt Sorum and Mike Fiorentino. Excuse me for butchering that name, but I think that's Matt Sorum of...
that's GNR.
Yeah, that's Guns N' Roses fame.
Velvet Revolver fame.
Yeah. I bet that Hardware album's good.
Oh my goodness.
You know, the tones are going to be thick.
It's the Rev.
And
Billy
juicy.
G.
So I just think that's a great thing to come out with in 2021. It looks like there's 12 songs on here. Pretty great album.
Yeah.
Check our socials. We're going to share the single on there. Billy Gibbons, Desert High. New single coming off his brand new album, Hardware. Check it out. Buy it wherever you can. Should be a great thing. Check out our Guitar Pirates podcast, Facebook and Instagram. Facebook for the link for the Billy Gibbons single. Moving on to more album releases. Black Keys releasing a blues cover album. What do we think about this?
A cover album?
Yeah.
Does it list
Mississippi Hill Country Blues Standards. Delta Cream comes out May 14th. Records opens with Crawling King Snake, a song credited to Big Joe Williams and made popular by Old John Lee. Looks like they're working with a couple other guys here on this album. Supposed to be really good. I know Crawling King Snake's been played on the radio. It's just heavy and bluesy. You know what Black Keys bring to the table.
Oh, of course.
It's going to be a one of those fun albums. Obviously, it won't be everybody's cup of tea. But, I mean, it's going to be the Black Keys and I think two other guys. So,
I mean,
not the duo kind of thing, lacking the bass, or they might add in how they add in their bass. It's going to be the full band, full meal deal.
I'm sure there's going to be some good guitar solos.
Oh, I'm sure the guitar tones are going to be just
creamy.
Greasy. So everybody check that out. Get on YouTube, get on wherever you buy your music. Check out the new Black Keys album, covers album. What are we? Delta Cream. Black Keys blues cover album, Delta Cream, May 14th.
Got any more albums? I have one that I just wanted
I don't
to
have
mention.
any more albums, but I still have a bunch more news.
I just wanted to get this one album while we're in this. It came out March 5th, but if you haven't heard, Chevelle has a new album out, and it is fantastic.
Chevelle's new album. Gosh, I have kind of stepped away from Chevelle. I'll be a tuck tail and admit that.
Well,
I didn't step away in a bad way, just kind of one of those, you know how music revolves in and out of your life, you know.
Well, after the third album, I kind of stepped away, but this album takes you back to the first three albums.
I've heard some of the stuff on YouTube, some of the new stuff. It's how I listen to my music, people. I know I'm kind of odd, but some of it's pretty crushing.
It's
pretty good.
It's very, very good.
You know.
It takes me back to early 2000s.
He's very guitar centric, and it shows.
Yeah. Now he's with Fender, which broke my heart, but it's all right.
Hey, at that show, he dangles that PRS in my face.
I was gonna bring that up.
You remember that?
He was screaming at Josh to take the guitar, and he was reaching, and right when he could get his grubby meat hooks on it, he yanked that guitar away.
I didn't want to lunge for it because it was basically front row center on the rail, and I didn't want to lose my seat.
And we would have had to leave the concert immediately.
I didn't want to lose my seat. I really was enjoying the show. It was just a fun part of the show.
Yeah.
Something I'll never forget. So, Pete, if you ever listen to this, somebody with a connection there, gosh, that was a hell of a deal.
That was a beautiful guitar.
So, yeah, Pete, you can bring around that white PRS anytime.
Yeah. And then 5 minutes later, we watched two guys get tackled by one big bouncer.
Yeah. Small building with a lot of people in the middle of Little Rock.
Oh, it was great, though.
It was going to go crazy. Any more album-related releases or anything newsworthy like that? I'm just going to keep
Well, I
moving
know
on.
Avenged Sevenfold has one out as well. I have not heard it yet, but I know that one was recently released as well.
All you Avenged Sevenfold fans, be on the lookout for a new Avenged Sevenfold album. But guys, moving on, I've got a funny one here. Tony Iommi buys a Lamborghini. Yeah, I know. It's kind of odd. I know.
Well, he's the most responsible in that band. So
yeah,
that
and it's a Lamborghini SUV, the Urus. It's probably probably pretty fast. Obviously, it's a Lamborghini. I don't know anything about it, but I just think it's cool.
Is he driving, or do you think he has?
Yeah,
a
it says in here. He says it's taking it to the track. So, I mean, it's just a blue-looking SUV. But hey, go Tony Iommi,
right?
Lamborghini, man.
It's not like Ozzy when he bought that BMW and it had that talk to text, whatever.
Yeah,
and he kept yelling at it and never listened to him.
I'm sure old Tony's just romping around in England
man.
on that thing like crazy. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny. Any guitar players might respect that. Tony Iommi makes a frugal Lamborghini purchase
at what?
But
70?
it's basically an SUV.
Right. It's like $200,000.
So it's pretty cool.
And how?
I think that's pretty cool.
What is he like? 70? He's probably 72.
I don't know, but if Grandpa's driving a Lamborghini, I'm going to see Grandpa every day.
Right.
Guys, moving on. Book news. A new biography of John Bonham is being released in September.
Ooh.
A biography of just John Bonham. We know a lot about, I'm sure, but we know a lot about John Bonham. We know a lot about John Paul Jones, Robert Plant, and Jimmy Page. But I think a deep dive on John Bonham
is nice.
Is pretty cool.
The man behind the kit.
The man. Due to come out to September 7th, due to shown on Amazon book listings, called Beast, John Bonham and the Rise of Led Zeppelin, being published by Hatchet Books and will include a foreword by Dave Grohl.
Ooh.
I wonder what that will entail.
Is that accompanied with a documentary or ebook maybe?
There's probably going to be an ebook version, but I imagine it's going to be like a coffee table thing.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Oh, yeah.
Books are cool. I love books, but it's a 384-page book. So I imagine there will be some pictures in it. I imagine there will be a lot of, dialogue.
I'm sure there'll be some quotes from him and I'm sure they'll go into detail over the passing and the lasting.
I would imagine so. I would imagine it'll take a deep dive on John Bonham and his life and what he's done with Led Zeppelin and what he means. And if you haven't look it up on Google. I'm sure there's lots of news on what the book details. We could probably go in and on and on and on about that. If it comes out and we get it, then we may do a show about that.
Yeah.
Just do a show about that book.
Oh, of course.
Deep dive on the book. But guys, September 7th. John Bonham and the Rise of Led Zeppelin. look out for this new biography about John Bonham.
How many times do you think we've watched Moby Dick?
That box set of Led Zeppelin, I think I've watched that enough to burn it in the back of my retinas.
That's one of that drum solo.
That's how I learned how to play drums. I was watching that. That in sixth grade band for one semester, but still.
That's why I called you Animal.
He's Animal. Boy, that boy, gosh dang. Moving on, guys. In auction news, a little bit of gear news. Running down the gear here. Bob Dylan's Fender 12-string up for auction. Used on his landmark 1966 double album Blonde on Blonde. Pretty big piece of guitar history, though.
Oh, yeah.
I think really anything tied with Dylan.
Especially when he went to electric.
And he goes electric.
Yeah, that's...
You know what I mean?
That's one...
You get on the landmark stuff. You get on the bigger albums. It's going to be huge. I wonder what this is going to go for. If this has happened by the time this comes out, guys, post this on the social. Let us know if it's come out, or I'll find it.
Where's it going on auction?
Let's see.
Are they going to list it on Reverb?
Gotta have Rock and Roll Auction.
Someone official.
Here's a little, and I think this was bought by the guy Tyler Larson. It's bought by the guy from Musica's Win, I'm pretty sure. And that was Kirk Hammett's Metallica fame, iconic Ouija board guitar.
Yeah,
I think that was it's the same auction house as that where that went. And Kirk's got to pay for that 59 Les Paul.
Yeah,
he's got to pay for all that good stuff.
We're running at least $50,000.
No. Minimum bids invites of $215,000 for Dylan's 12-string. Heritage Auction Appraisal Services appraised it at a cool, sultry $1 million. I don't know if it'll go for that, but if it does, go Bob Dylan.
Yeah, I mean, if Stevie Ray Vaughan's guitar didn't go for that,
with the way inflation is these days, inflation is nuts. We'll get into that too. But hey, regardless, piece of music history up for auction.
What kind of guitar was it?
It's a Fender 12-string, electric 12-string.
From 66.
Used on Blonde, so it's music history.
Oh, yeah. Does that have Everybody Must Get Stoned? Or is that Ladder Album?
I don't know. I'm not a huge on Dylan. Please don't crucify me, guys, if you're listening to this and you love Dylan. Don't kill me. Moving on, another auction news. Eddie Van Halen's $800,000 guitar now up for auction. More auction. More Frankenstrat guitars.
Which
it's expected to sell. It gotta have Rock and Roll.
Is it a Charvel or?
It's expected to go for between 600 and 800,000. Made at the Kramer factory.
Oh, so it's Kramer. So it's the red, white, and black.
Yep, it's a red, white, and black one, but it's a very clean one. Very clean one. Very Floyd Rosy.
Owned and played by Halen, or is that a
yes
gifted?
I'm not exactly sure. Guitar's current owner is Kevin King Dugan, Van Halen's crew chief guitar tech for a long time.
If anybody wants to start a GoFundMe for us for that guitar, we would greatly appreciate it.
GoFundMe for the Guitar Pirates podcast so we can look at this sweet Eddie Van Halen guitar. I'll even let Jimmy play all he wants. Nobody wants to.
I wouldn't want to play it. I'd be terrified.
The first time ever Jimmy's felt inadequate.
Oh, I'd be terrified.
All right, moving on. More gear release. Here's something up Jimmy's alley. And excuse me if I say this wrong. Death Clock,
yeah.
Brennan Small gets his third Epiphone guitar.
Is it the white?
I believe it's a Prophecy. And yes, it's like a grayish white, has a Floyd Rose.
Oh, ooh,
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's pretty cool. Third, a guy who plays for like an animated TV show as his band and he's so good. Like, he's just insane.
Oh, it's insane. And here's a fun fact: the number one all-time selling death metal band of all time is Death Clock.
I mean, this guitar looks pretty cool. I mean, for an Explorer, I mean, 24 frets, Floyd Rose. I don't really know any other ins and outs of it, but
I'm sure it's probably
it looks
EMGs.
great. Probably.
I would imagine EMGs. His white Flying V is awesome.
Powered by Gibson USA Burstbuckers.
Ooh. We've played a few Burstbuckles.
We played a few Burstbuckers for Burstbuckles. All right, guys. That's a pretty sweet guitar. Anyway, moving on down the line. Fender and Mike McCready of Pearl Jam fame announce a new limited edition 1960 Stratocaster.
Oh, that's the best headstock ever.
I mean, it's a replica of his beloved vintage Strat. So, I mean, he's got the real deal. So, it's got to be good.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Fender's probably shot to the moon with this one.
Is it the roasted maple neck?
No, it's got a rosewood fingerboard, maple neck, just relic beyond belief.
Oh, the headstock. That's my favorite.
It's just so beautiful. That like 2-color sunburst, light brown into brown, almost doesn't fade to black in the dark part. It's just brown. It's so cool.
Oh, so pretty.
So cool. And I mean, I'm sure that it's going to be insane money.
Oh.
Fender Custom Shop.
Sub 3s, I'm sure.
Probably sub 4, maybe 5, depending on the case candy, all the stuff that comes with it.
Certificate. And
if
all
it comes
that
with an
jazz.
NFT, it might be $1 million. We don't know.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
There's no damn telling. Moving on, good segue here. Megadeth NFT sells for over $18,000. Megadeth getting in on the NFT craze here. Probably Dave and Elfson just trying to do something.
Oh, yeah. You got to stay relevant, especially with that new album coming out soon.
Their first non-fungible token, titled Vic Rattlehead Genesis, for sale over on the Rarible site, I mean, it looks like they're selling it for right around $300, or at least some of the bids, but it ended up going for $18,000. That's quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
And there's probably a lot of it. There's a lot of things with inside these NFTs that could be. I don't know the whole ins and outs of it. I just know that Megadeth sells an NFT for $18,000. We'll go a little bit more in depth on NFTs later in the show, but it's just going to be a scratch. There's so much on these NFTs that are just blowing sky high.
And I'm basically just going to be jumping on the ride for that bad boy.
I'm basically going to blab a little bit about something I don't know about, just to give somebody to scratch their head, and we'll move on from that one.
Yeah, it's cool whenever you actually read up what they are. Clown from Slipknot does a lot of them too, so
and
there's a whole bunch of people.
Crypto art, man. I think it's just another way for digital people to make digital money. I don't know. Don't condemn me for saying that, guys. But guys, keeping the train rolling. That's all I've got for the news.
And on my end, the biggest news probably of the day for sure. Mudvayne is going to return from a 12-year hiatus and do 4 festival tours this year.
Everybody and their metalhead loving brother is, thinking of this as Christmas.
And all 4 original. All.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
I think what was it? I think it was Chris Jericho. I'm not sure. Somebody come out and said there's not really that many like headlining bands, like big time headlining bands anymore. Like there's a lot of like entertainment acts.
Yeah.
Like there's no, like a big headlining band these days. To me, I think of like Foo Fighters,
Metallica.
Yes. And then, you think about Mudvayne and what they were back in the day and what they become.
And seeing them on their last tour. It was 100 degrees. We're on concrete, and he comes out in a full monkey suit. Chad Gray does.
He's probably sweating buckets.
Oh, we were sweating buckets, so I couldn't imagine.
I couldn't even imagine. But I think this is great. Mudvayne to reunite. I mean, it's just live performances, guys. What's like 4 different festivals?
Yeah, 4 that have announced dates. The only one that has announced like full lineup that I looked at for sure is Louder Than Life. That's in California. That's on September 21st. It runs from the 23rd to the 26th. And the headliners for 2 of the days is going to be Metallica. There's going to be The Offspring there. Mudvayne replaces My Chemical Romance, who canceled their spot on that tour. It's pretty crazy. You got Rancid, Seether, Volbeat, The Offspring, Machine Gun Kelly, Gojira, Rise Against, Steel Panther is going to be there.
Steel Panther just sounds like a bunch of fun to me.
And then Limp Bizkit's going to be playing.
Let's go back to the 90s, guys.
If this doesn't scream 90s, I'm telling you, to see Offspring would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not going to. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Take me back to my childhood.
Suicidal Tendencies. I wonder if Robert Trujillo will make a guest spot with Suicidal. With that. I mean, that's and this is in California. They're really hard on their social distancing. So being that this is in September, I don't know much more of the the guidelines there, but 4 days of music, people.
Yeah, these tour dates and these festival dates, and people are getting out and committing to shows.
And
we're getting it. We're coming around, guys. Even this is not music, but did you see what happened? I mean, at WrestleMania, they were having people together. Granted, it was kind of socially distanced pods, but I mean, it was still people in front rows.
Where was WrestleMania?
Raymond James Stadium. Still an outdoor event, but they had them packed in there like the Super Bowl did.
Oh yeah,
like we can do this, guys.
Florida's going to be full run.
Let's just keep our good heads about us and be smart. Guys, we got to deal with masks, whatever. Bring in extra water.
Yeah.
Hydrate, people.
And also think that any of these bands at any moment can cancel.
Can just cancel.
So
just cancel right out of nowhere.
And just don't be too shocked. But Metallica playing 2 days. They play Friday and Sunday. They headline both days.
It's just great. Mudvayne getting back together, an old band from our, a lot of, if you're listening, probably your childhood.
That we thought was dead.
We thought was dead in the water. Hell yeah. I mean, they did their thing for a while. But Mudvayne getting back together. Great positive news.
That's
positive news.
Positive.
We
and
like
hopefully
the positivity here.
Hopefully new album.
Could spark something.
Because
or even a recording of the live performance.
Yeah. Or even just a re-release of like unreleased songs or something. Because seeing Greg Tribbett back with Chad Gray's, it's a pretty big thing. And, Mudvayne's bass is just unreal.
Unreal. Ryan Martin, I think his name is.
Something like that. And we're still awaiting the Rocklahoma lineup. That one is still in the works. So I'm sure a lot of the bands I mentioned, a lot of them will be there like normal. They follow festival to festival. So,
well, anything else you have for news? Anything else coming that's kind of a big time? That's all I've got for news.
well, I was looking, and then that Mudvayne thing came up, and my whole life went into that because it blew me away.
Well, that's a good piece of news.
Yeah,
That's a good piece of news.
Everything else I wanted to talk about just kind of I was
Kind of
researching
evaporated out the window.
until as soon as I seen Mudvayne rumored, and I was like, what?
Well, guys, let's move it on down the line.
Moving on
Next
down the
up.
line.
Next segment in the line. Little gas. Getting a little gassy. A little itchy.
Okay.
What's making you itchy, guys? Get us up on the socials. Facebook.com, Guitar Pirates Pod. Leave a review anywhere where you get your podcast, anything like that. Let us know what's making you itchy. What are you looking at? What are you thinking about buying? What are you thinking about putting on the old credit card?
Yeah, or making payments through these great little payment sites.
Yeah. Guys, my first piece of gear, and I'm going to tell you, I've been real gassy for this since it come out. And I'm on pre-order with Sweetwater. My man Clint, he's got my back. He has got my back, boy. I even got the invoice already. Boss TB2W Tonebender. I am so excited for this. So excited. Boss and Solo Sound Tonebender have collaborated, and Boss has basically modeled after the 500th production Solo Sound Tonebender and created the Boss TB2W. With everything from a voltage switch with a battery switch from 7 volts to 12 volts, so you can have that dying battery fuzz.
Ooh.
Level and attack. It's got a Solo Sound label on it. It's a Wazacraft pedal. It's even in like that almost hand hammered metal of an original Tonebender with original Tonebender font. I mean, in the Boss Compact way, like if you're a fuzz enthusiast, you probably already know about this thing. You probably already got your pre-order just like me. You're already getting a little itchy. The two Boss YouTube videos are great.
What's the price?
$350.
I mean,
You better I put mine on my Sweetwater card. I won't lie, boy. I couldn't help it. This is one of those ones like that Antigua Burr Squire. Just one of those ones when you see it, you just either you jump or you just let it pass you by, and I jumped.
or do you go how I look? It cost you $350? No, it only cost me $21 a month.
Oh man, if you're out there and listening to this, let us know if you're in the same boat we are sometimes with this payment plan stuff. We can't be the only one, can we?
Or let me know if you don't remember how much stuff you've been paying on.
If you are a victim of the payment plan, let us know. Guitar Pirates Pod, Facebook.com.
Yeah, I would love to. And any nightmares, because all the companies I've gone through, their returns.
Jim, I will admit to that. Jim has returned a bunch of stuff to these places and has never gotten any trouble at all, not one.
Z-Sounds and American Music Supply is the ones I go through, and all their products, even if there's anything wrong, they will replace anything or give me full refund or whatever.
And I've been totally surprised, and I think that's great. No hassle on the refund. Freaking sweet.
Now, is that just going to be through Sweetwater, or do you know if it's through?
No, you can. I know they're making a limited run. Now, I contacted Sweetwater, and I'm sure that there's other places that you can pre-order this.
Anderton's would probably.
I'm sure there's the bigger places, Guitar Center probably.
Yeah, of course.
But I acted early on this one because I knew it was going to be limited, and I knew it was going to be expensive. It's just one of those. It's like either you bite the bullet on it or you don't.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just one of those things I had to do.
And Boss has stepped their game up since the original.
The Waza line is legit. I believe so. I believe it is legit. Boss period is legit. Don't sleep on Boss pedals.
Yeah, don't sleep on Boss amps either.
But guys, moving on down the line. For my second piece of gas for our gas segment. Sticking with the recording theme, what we're recording this podcast on now, the Zoom H8 handy recorder.
It's
pretty sweet.
Yeah, it basically looks like a spider.
That's what everybody says. It looks like a spider. It's six tracks, built-in microphone, has a field recorder app, a music recording app, and a podcast app. What's not to love about that?
Yeah. And it sounds, as you can hear.
And it can act as a DAW. So a mobile, a DAW for your computer. You can record straight from this on your computer.
And it can be a 4-track, I guess.
It can be a 4-track. It's a 6-track. You can plug in take the external mic off the top and plug in a capsule and have 8.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, this capsule right here is removable. So it's a pretty sweet piece of gear. There's also a Guitar Labs thing on here that I have not messed with either. And I believe it can just take you through little effects and, modeling features within the guitar. It is Zoom. It is made by Zoom. All you guitar players who know Zoom.
For the same price, almost as that pedal.
Exactly. $399. Comes with a free software, Wavelabs, I believe, and Cubase LE, so you can at least get going right off the ground. Pretty cool.
It's, yeah.
Pretty cool piece of
I'm
equipment.
very impressed.
And I love having the mobile factor. We can take this anywhere. Just record our pod anywhere we want to go.
Yep. Live shows.
Hopefully we can get some live shows, maybe cover something down the line. Make this pod spread like wildfire, guys. Guitar Pirates Pod on Facebook, Guitar Pirates Pod on Instagram. My second piece of gear for the gas segment of our show, Zoom H8 8-input handy recorder at $399.
Is that all you got?
I have
any more?
I have a reverb find if we want to go down that hole, or if we want to save our reverb finds.
Yeah, well, let me.
Let's save our. You want to save our? Let's save our
we'll
reverb.
Save our
finds.
reverb.
You do your 2 pieces, and we'll do our reverb finds.
Now, this one just kind of struck my funny bone when I seen it, and I just had to look for it. And I seen Giggity on a pedal, and I laughed out loud, of course, like anybody probably would that is a Family Guy fan. So I go into some deep dives on this Giggity and find out it is a preamp pedal. And
who's this pedal made by?
It is made by Voodoo Lab.
Voodoo Labs Giggity.
The Voodoo Lab.
If you're a
Giggity.
Quagmire fan, you're buying this pedal.
Oh, that
What's it running for, price wise?
I think it was $199.
$199. Wow.
Yeah. And it's pretty sweet. It's got a 4-position
Guys,
sun moon
sorry
knob.
to interrupt you. If you hear that clicking, I got a furnace in the background. Don't kill me.
Right. It let's see. I'm just gonna go the generic route, and I'm gonna read this.
Just get a little quick rundown.
You can fine tune your tone with the Voodoo Lab Giggity tweak and dial in your perfect tone with the analog mastering preamp. You of course, if you know what a preamp is, you place it before your amp, and then you add your pedals to add shimmer and detail to your pickups. At the end of the signal chain, Giggity is perfect for adding a bottom end boost and fill out your sonic signature. I'm trying. Am I a good admin?
That's just great. That's funny. An analog preamp called Giggity. What were they going for with that? I guess gig pedal, like it's for a gig.
That's what I was thinking, but
Gig, like it's giggity. I don't know.
I mean, being it's Quagmire,
I think of Family Guy. You ain't telling me otherwise.
I had other pedals I was looking at for this, but whenever you see Giggity the first search. You can't go any farther.
You can't go any wrong. You might as well just dive down that rabbit hole and find out what in the heck that is.
And it's got the thing that's really cool. It has the sun mood knob that changes the overall EQ, voicing, and gain structure of the tone. So basically, you can go from a clean tone with the moon knob, and then when you get up into the sun tone, it's a little bit more gainy.
So okay, wait. Explain what the knobs are now.
Okay, so
Just give us a deep dive on the knobs. What are they?
So on the top of your preamp pedal, it has one single knob that is a sun and moon knob. That's what it is. So if you're going to turn it to the moon side, it's more clean, creamy tones. Whenever you crank that thing to the sun, because hot.
Does it
says more
say?
gain.
Does it say sun and moon on
There's
it?
a sun and a moon symbol.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you.
Sounds like how how like those big orange amps have like pictures on their, basically it's like a speaker, with arrows and stuff for different things.
Yeah,
how
exactly.
That's crazy.
And it's got an overall EQ voicing for your gain structure, of course, your tone, your tonal changes. You can dial in grit, loudness, and compression with the loudness and master controls.
And how many knobs were there? Just one?
You've got 5 total.
5. Oh wow, excuse me.
And I don't think that I wrote it down here, but I do believe it might have a gate. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to do more deep dives on it.
Yeah. Post this on Guitar Pirates Pod, please, on Facebook, so people, if you're listening and you want to get a little nerdy about the giggity pedal, the sun and moon option here.
Yes.
Let's figure this one out.
And the giggity pedal was an afterthought to my first set of gear, so I'm not as prepared for it because it just struck my fancy yesterday, but I was floored.
I would have been too. I would have never known. It makes me wonder when it was released.
It was released in NAMM 2021.
This year?
It is a 2021 exclusive.
What? I've been under a rock. Oh my gosh.
There's been, I think I read, there's in 1,000 of new products.
We need to find out if this person is a Quagmire fan. It has to be. He or she, excuse me.
And wherever Voodoo Lab, Voodoo Labs, great.
Voodoo Labs, if you're listening, or if you ever listen, hit us up and tell us more about this damn giggity pedal.
Yeah, I have to know.
We need to know. I think we just gonna have to break down and get one.
Oh,
Just to break down and get one.
I definitely want
just
one.
Gonna have to do it. Z-Sounds American Musical Supply, here I come.
Yeah, even if you don't use it, it's a good conversation piece when you see giggity on your pedal board. You're like, what is that?
Custom is that? Oh, it ain't no custom, boy.
Please, if anybody can do custom voicings and we can override the circuit panel, so it just goes giggity, giggity, giggity.
All right. What else? What else do you have?
I'm going
a little gassy.
And see, this is the thing that we've been talking about for a long time. The Squier line has been coming out with fantastic product.
Are we going down the new contemporary route?
I am going down the new contemporary route. They have the modern voice Squier SQR pickups. And that gonna run through your Jazzmaster, your Stratocaster, and it's gonna run through to your Telecaster. They're also gonna have the silver Squier, on the headstock there, and it's a color headstock, which is pretty cool. I think
so too.
And at $429.99, and if you're unsure about any Squier product, I'm going to tell you right now, get one.
I'm going to tell you right now, I rode a Squier Thinline Telecaster, one of the vintage modified ones, all the way to the IBCs in Memphis, and that thing is solid as a rock. I plant my flag in those suckers. Like, don't underestimate them. If you're going to get a gigging one and you're going to gig, I suggest at least getting a vintage modified or classic 5 or one of these these new contemporaries, because it's going to hold up,
Yeah, that classic vibe 60 has that beautiful neck, and it has that Lake Placid blue. That's
But
one
these
of
contemporaries
are
though,
fantastic.
the one that kind of sticks out to me is this Skyburst Metallic Jaguar.
Yes.
Wow.
And also with that the Telly line is what got me really excited, because me and Josh had talked about this before. We wanted the Shoreline Gold guitar. And
Yes.
finding a Shoreline Gold guitar, just a Shoreline Gold guitar, and we thought it was pretty funny. And then lo and behold, they come out with a Pearl White, a Shoreline Gold model, and the Gunmetal Metallic, and that Gunmetal Metallic is gorgeous. But that Shoreline Gold is
That
very
Shoreline Gold, boy.
That's gorgeous.
It looks like a rocking guitar too.
beautiful. Oh, dude.
Like it would rock your face off.
Well, see, I thought it had, with the way those SQR pickups look, I literally thought it was Seymour Duncan's. That's what I thought
It looks
originally.
really good too. I mean, what, 22 frets,
With those that
matching
black
headstock. I mean, black hardware. I mean, it's Shoreline Gold all the way around.
yeah, that Jaguars, that Skyburst Metallic. It also comes in Shoreline Gold, which is pretty cool.
Poplar body, has a roasted maple neck. SQR rail humbucker in the bridge and an atomic humbucker in the neck. Woo. This is a rocker, boy.
That
You know that might be something you have to check out.
where is that?
Shoreline Gold.
That Skyburst Metallic Strat. That one.
Yeah,
It's gorgeous.
Those these new ones with that. I don't know if those are humbuckers in the bridge or if they're just moving the single coils around. You have that little space in between them.
Yeah.
You see that? It's kind of odd.
And see,
Looks cool though.
and it's got varying configurations of models, of course. And it's got the sculpted neck heel, which I really like that.
The sculpted neck heels are for Fenders because they have those big old block heels, and it's just can get kind of nuisancey, if you know what I'm saying. Anybody who plays a Fender will know exactly what we're talking about.
And the headstock is more of your 50s style, I would say. It's got the big chunky headstock.
But guys, check out any YouTube videos for anything Squier Contemporary. There's tons of videos out there.
And if you're on a budget, it's worth every penny.
It's worth every penny. Every
The
penny.
necks on these Squires are the frets, all the work is just unreal.
Let's just say it call it like it is. It's a Squier with a roasted maple neck.
It's
Oh, here's what I would like. Obviously, we get a Squier with a roasted maple neck. I want to see one of these Acoustasonic guitars in a lower variant.
oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a Mexican or a
Squier.
Squier. Obviously, the Squiers are going to be, they won't be as good as the $2,000 counterparts.
And coming with the PAs, though, I mean,
But I would love to see one of those in a lower tier variant.
those things
You know
are
what I mean? They're
things are
so
awesome.
cool.
So awesome.
They're so cool. But anyway, is that all we have for gas
That is
on your end?
as of right now, because I'm itchy for one of these.
I love
Squires.
it. I love it. Okay, here is the headlining event for our gas segment for the April 19th edition of the Guitar Pirates podcast. Guys, and this is my reverb find. We're jumping down the vintage hole again. Going straight back to 1974 with a Fender Telecaster Custom, Fender wide range in the neck, single coil in the bridge. It's got 4 knobs, black guard. Actually, it looks like this one's a little modified. It's got 5 knobs. I'm not even going to go down the rabbit hole on this one. It's $3,000 for a 1974 Fender Telecaster Custom. I mean, geez, in today's market, that's pretty good.
What's the shipping on that?
$140 shipping.
Okay, that's not bad.
Says it has an $800 price drop. Moore's Boutique, Anaconda, Montana.
Ooh, that's
Solid ash body. Has the original neck. Big bullet truss rod. You can find this on Reverb. Morris Boutique.
Does it have a make offer?
It has a make offer. It has one offer made on it. Looks like it has the original case.
One low ball offer.
One low ball offer. Looks like the action's pretty good. Look, just flipping through the reverb stuff here. Morris Boutique, Anaconda, Montana.
Shout out to them guys.
Shout out to this guy for selling a sweet, looks like a slightly customized 1974 Fender Telecaster Custom. Guys, get on Reverb and check it out and deep dive into this. I'm not sure. It looks like here. It looks like it was a master volume that was added. So, a master volume that overrides the whole thing.
Which I actually kind of like a Gretsch.
Kind of,
Gretsch
yes.
thing.
It's already got the Les Paul style knobs anyway, so I don't understand why you want a master volume. If that's your thing, though, go right ahead. That's your thing.
But, I mean,
Easily fixable. Granted, you'll have a hole in your pick guard, but easily fixable. You take that thing right out.
I love that with the full pick guard.
But
So,
guys, that is my headlining event for our gas segment on the April 19th edition of the Guitar Pirates podcast.
and on mine, this one's kind of like a gut punch to me because I've been looking for one of these for a very long time. It is a 2000 Randall Warhead. And yes, that is Dimebag Daryl Abbott from Pantera and Damage Plan's signature head.
Yeah.
That is one of my dreams to have. It's in good condition. It's only missing the back piece there, so it doesn't have the back cover, but being it's not tubed, that's all right. It does include the foot switch with the amp. The guy just doesn't want it anymore. He has his eye on another amp. Shout out to Travis's Gear.
Guys, if you're
Travis's Gear
if you're in the
Garage.
market for a great metal amplifier, I suggest giving this one a check.
Not only great metal amplifier, but history, and at $875, marked down from $1,000, with only $50 shipping.
Not bad. Not really, but not bad at all. Especially if he ships it well. If it comes shipped well, he packages it up well.
Yeah. What do I have to sell?
What can I get rid of?
I almost want to throw up. This is the one I've wanted forever. It's hard to find them.
When you find something like that and you want it, you want to try it, or at least dip your toes into it.
And I'm kind of mad that I put this on my Reverb find.
It's making you a little gassy.
Yeah.
That's why it is the main event of the gas segment.
We can edit this part out later. Don't worry, guys.
It is our main event. That is our Reverb finds for our Gear Acquisition Syndrome segment for the April 19th edition of your Guitar Pirates podcast. Guys, moving on, rolling along, we're about to wrap this sucker up. Moving on here, this is our weekly this for all you out there sporting them, Beard of the Week.
Beard of the Week.
Yep.
I'm going to let you announce this week's Beard of the Week.
This week's Beard of the Week, guys. I told you guys to pay attention earlier in the pod. If you're listening, you probably already know. In honor of the new single and the new album, your Guitar Pirates podcast Beard of the Week is Mr. Reverend Willie G.
The Billy G.
Billy Gibbons. Give it up, everybody.
It's a no-brainer.
No brainer. In honor of the new single, new album, the godfather of them all.
And the fact that his beard looks the same.
Looks the same. He probably combs it and doesn't do a dang thing to it. I don't even know what his beard regimen is.
Right.
Some guys comb it, some guys don't do anything, some guys put oil in it or whatever they do.
Do you think at this age it's a prosthetic? He's got a prosthetic beard.
At this age, I bet it's very finely combed through.
I mean, What did him and Dusty Hill insure it? $1 million?
I think Gillette offered him $1 million to shave it or something like. Probably insured for millions plus.
Sure it's $1 million.
If anybody knows, hit us up on the socials about it. We want to know. Well, I'd love to know this. Obviously, a quick trip down the Google machine could tell me, but if anybody knows, let us know.
You can be our Google.
You can be our Google. Guitar Pirates Podcast on Facebook, Guitar Pirates Podcast on Instagram. Guys, hit us up and let us know. But that is your Beard of the Week. Beard of the Week. Winding down, everybody, but we might wind up here. Don't really know how deep we're going to get into this one because this is kind of two guys discussing something that we really don't know too much about.
It's two guys trying to build something without any instructions.
But also, it's a big deal. Like, this is going to be, people are saying this is a big deal. Like, basically, like when the internet started. Like modern day internet. Not 1960s military weapon internet. Guys, and that is what we might have mentioned in the show already. NFTs. Non-fungible tokens. So many people are getting into this. You know, we obviously see Megadeth getting into this, selling some NFTs. Kings of Leon, their new album is dealing with an NFT. There are some other artists that are going NFTs. Shawn Mendes, I think, is going NFTs. There's all sorts of guys that are just dropping stuff with the NFTs. And the NFTs, basically, it can be a limited token, non-fungible token. And in that, what that means is basically it is certificate of authenticity for your digital art. Whether it is a digital, you know, some sort of GIF, you know, like an animated drawing or poster or something that you created, or putting some sort of, you know, embedded description of you and your certificate of authenticity in your music or something. I know that it is way above my head, obviously, but I know that it is probably going to be a big thing
in the future for sure.
And it's going to shake up the music industry. I think it'll probably take a lot of stuff out of record companies' hands and put it into artists' hands.
And also a lot of autograph stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be collectibles, a lot of collectibles. I think the collectible market is about to go crazy again. I know baseball cards are picking up again. But anyway, the musical NFTs, I know that they include like meet and greets, digital art, obviously different copies of their record or songs, just anything you could think of in a package deal for an NFT. It can be a 1 of 1, a 1 of 10, a 1 of 500. There's no telling. Or it could just be an open deal, and as many people buy it as many people who get it.
And so basically, what do you think there's going to be a resale value on any of these?
Basically, you can trade it almost like barter and trade.
It's like Pogs?
Yeah, I would think so. Like you can trade it like you have like a little wallet, and you can trade it like gold bars, you know.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Which I think it's okay, but I also think it's still too far over my head for me to even understand it.
It's still too early. Yeah, I've been trying to wrap my brain around it since you brought it up, you know, a week or two ago, and I've looked into it, and I know as much now as I did then.
You know, and I'm still learning, but like in the Kings of Leon, it looks like you can download the record. You get moving artwork. You get access to the limited edition vinyl. But then the tokens that are made, these weird little tokens that have them on there, they're only going to be a limited number. It's weird because they can have these tokens that have the music embedded in them, almost like a record. And
yeah,
it's really, really weird. Some of the things they put in with these NFTs. it could be digital, it can be a token. I know that crazy NFT artist Beeble is basically making like, have you ever seen those digital picture frames?
Yeah.
It's basically like that in a graded case, and you can press on it and it's your digital art.
That's pretty killer.
It's, dude, talk about like futuristic stuff.
And
You know what I'm saying?
and we're running what? Anywhere from a couple $100 to
Depending
couple
on
thousand.
the Kings of Leon NFT album was $50.
Oh.
So if you're a fan, that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not bad. But if you're going to get into high-priced NFTs, millions and billions of dollars, oh, that's insane. And
Keep saving your money, boys and girls.
keep saving your money. You can get on the Google search machine, and you can find out where you can buy these NFTs. You can make your own NFTs. Sometimes they won't sell, and sometimes they will. There's no telling.
And if you know any more about this, make sure to
hit us up and let us know. I think Tom Brady started his own NFT company.
Oh, my goodness.
Everybody is dipping their fingers in the NFT world.
Did he cheat at his NFT, being it's Tom Brady? I'm just so tired of hearing that.
I get it.
It kills me.
I get it. That's a whole different subject for a whole nother podcast. If Tom Brady was a guitar player, would he be any good?
Right.
There's a question. Guitar Pirates Podcast on Facebook. Let us know. If Tom Brady was a guitar player, would he be any good?
I gotta piggyback off that. What greatest of all time quarterback would you think would be the best guitar player?
That would be interesting to know.
Because, I mean, the way you look at it, the one that I think has the personality to be the best guitar player, and that'd be Brett Favre.
See a lot of cowboy chords there.
Yeah, chicken picking.
But guys, this NFT stuff, it goes beyond me. I mean, I think it's like Kings of Leon. It looks like they've hit over 2 million in sales with this NFT stuff.
Just off the NFTs?
Yeah, just with NFT stuff.
And see if that's
it's just nuts, man.
And that's if they're bypassing the record companies, they're actually pocketing most of that,
and that's awesome.
Especially
Put
if you're
the
up and
money
coming.
back into the musicians' pockets
Instead of, well, when you get
letting somebody take over their music.
Well, basically, whenever you sign a record deal, you're just basically getting a loan. That's all it is. Like Chevelle, their record, they said they haven't made any money off of any of their records, and the company's made over $50 million off of those albums.
That's so bad. That is, hearts out to them.
Yeah.
Oof.
But it's like, I don't know how much they signed their record deal for. I don't know how long that, how that correlates with, what they were given and tours and all that.
Chevelle
jazz.
seems pretty upfront with their things. I bet you we see an NFT or something from them.
I would hope so.
But
especially with this new album coming out.
With this whole NFT stuff, guys, literally making rare digital art, numbered digital art, like a numbered card. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a digital moving picture, one of 500 from this band that you can buy in a NFT. Like a weird digital fan bundle.
I wonder if they're going to do artists that have passed away. I would love to see if they do like
some
Jimi
sort
Hendrix
of NFT or something,
like a collaboration.
Unreleased Jimi Hendrix thing or something. Probably some embedded Jimi Hendrix artwork. You know that's coming.
And there's
digital Jimi art. It's probably already out there.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? It's probably already out there.
There's so much.
Like, get on the train, guys.
Jimi Hendrix never stopped recording. There's so much Jimi Hendrix stuff that hasn't been released.
Yeah, his back
unreal.
catalog is crazy. I would just love to hear some of that stuff. People always dug on his back catalog of stuff that come out.
Drives me nuts.
Man, dude's dead. Get off his butt.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Just get off of his butt.
He's not the best guitar player ever. It's like he has what? Name one other guitar player that has generations of guitar playing, influence.
But it was the biggest influence on me. Obviously, the Are You Experience thing. I bought that at an early age, and it was just like it directed me down the road of finding guitar music.
Little Wing.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It just pushed me down that way, and I just found it.
Well, it seems like a lot of us probably started with Purple Haze, of course. It's like one of the biggest.
It was Fire for me. Hearing the drums and Fire in my mom's car driving down the road. That was it. I was like, what is this? Driving in her little crappy car, and I cranked it up, and it was just like, and just those drums, and it's like, oh my Lord, I want to do that.
And then All Along the Watchtower, of course.
Just any of his stuff, it's just so good. It's so good. People dissing on his later stuff though that comes out after he's dead. Like, gosh, they're just snobby people, snobby guitar players probably.
They're thinking they're better. It's like, go ask the greats; they'll tell you.
But guys, if you got any NFT leads, anything about NFTs that you know that we're not discussing or that we should discuss, maybe we need to do a longer deep dive into this NFT stuff, or maybe we just need to leave it alone.
Unless we, if something else comes out huge.
Something else huge comes out. But I mean...
And we get the graphs.
Maybe here at Guitar Pirates Pod, maybe we might try to make one.
There we go.
Try to make an NFT for Guitar Pirates Pod. And it would be cheap.
And beard related, of course.
Beard related, of course. Shout out to Reverend Willie G for Beard of the Week.
I'm very happy with this.
Very happy with the Beard of the Week for Reverend Willie G. And congratulations on the new album, new single coming out. Oh my gosh, guys, get on YouTube, get on where you get your music and find this album.
I wonder if he's got any new gear coming out down the line.
I would be interested to see if anything, but any company that backs him, it's going to be an insane guitar.
Gonna be Gretsch? Is it gonna be what has he got? He's got the Telly he plays.
It does a Telly and the SG with like that flying V pointed headstock.
He was playing that SG a lot lately.
A lot. But guys, as we wrap up this third episode of the Guitar Pirates podcast, I think we're gonna title this one "Better Late Than Never."
Right.
We're getting on track, guys. It's our third episode. Thank you all for listening. Check us out. Facebook.com, Guitar Pirates Podcast. Instagram, Guitar Pirates Podcast. I think you can do guitarpiratspodcast.buzzsprout.com, and it'll take you to the big listings of where this podcast is listed. We are listed in Google, Apple, Stitcher, Amazon, wherever you get your pods. Spotify. You can get them while they're hot every week. The Guitar Pirates Podcast. Thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy your evenings, your day, enjoy your 420, whatever you do. Be safe out there. Wash your damn hands. And have a good time. Peace.
Later.